Greetings and welcome to another edition of Black Talk Radio, where black media matters and black lives definitely matter. Today is Thursday, April 26, 2018. Unfortunately, this video is of a beautiful, beautiful black woman. She's a beautiful sister who unfortunately died at the hands of some negligent pilots of American Airlines, of all airlines. We've always been reading these horror stories of the airlines causing different situations that us humans are going through. And unfortunately, here is yet another one of those situations. When this Brittany Oswell is her name, got onto American Airlines, basically she stepped into her coffin. That's exactly what her lawyer is saying. So let's go into the article and you'll get more of what I'm talking about. Well, Brittany Oswell, she was a newlywed and a nurse who was coming back home to continue her studies. But Brittany never made it to Columbia. The 25-year-old Lexington woman died in a Texas hospital after suffering an embolism and going into cardiac arrest on an American Airlines flight from Honolulu. Now, Oswell's parents and widowed husband are suing the airline. Corey Oswell, Brittany's husband, and her parents, Christopher and Tina Starks, have filed a wrongful death lawsuit against American Airlines, according to their attorney, Brad Crenshaw. Brittany and Cody were flying from Hawaii, where he was stationed as part of his military service, to South Carolina, with a stop in Dallas-Fort Worth on April 15, 2016. Somewhere over Los Angeles, Brittany began to fall ill, according to the lawsuit, which described her symptoms as dizziness and disorientation, and said she was slurring her speech before fainting. A doctor who was a passenger on the flight spoke to Brittany after she regained consciousness, according to the lawsuit. The doctor initially believed Brittany was having a panic attack, the lawsuit says. Between 1 and 3 hours later, when the flight was over Albuquerque, New Mexico, Brittany went to use the bathroom, where she was discovered lying on the floor, having vomited and defecated on herself, according to the lawsuit. When the doctor examined Brittany a second time, she directed the flight attendants to inform the flight crew that it needed to divert the plane to the nearest airport so Brittany could receive proper medical care, according to the lawsuit. So, at one point in time, this doctor asked the flight attendants to direct the flight crew to the nearest hospital, to land at the nearest airport so that they could go to the nearest hospital. And as of yet, that did not happen. So no landing was ever attempted, according to the lawsuit. They didn't even try. The doctor asked to land the plane 3 times, Crenshaw said to the State Wednesday. The doctor who was holding Brittany was begging them to land. Crenshaw said it was at this time the doctor discovered that the medical equipment on the plane was not functioning. When the doctor tried to take Brittany's blood pressure, one of the plane's cuffs didn't work and the other cuff was broken, according to the lawsuit. Approximately 30 minutes after the doctor first asked for an emergency landing, the flight's captain summoned the doctor to the flight deck, but continued on to Dallas-Fort Worth, which was still 90 minutes away at that time, according to the lawsuit. So the doctor went and spoke to the flight crew and directed them and said that Brittany Oswell needed medical attention and that they needed to go to the nearest hospital, and the flight crew ignored the doctor. The flight crew ignored the doctor. So before I continue with this story, I have to ask the question: if Brittany Oswell was a white girl, if she was a white woman, If she was an old white man, would that flight crew have diverted the flight to the nearest airport to land so that that person could get medical attention? That's the question. Approximately 5 minutes after the doctor returned from the cockpit, Brittany stopped breathing and her pulse stopped, according to the lawsuit, adding that the doctor attempted to use a defibrillator, but no shock was administered despite 3 attempts. So the doctor even tried to use the defibrillator on the plane and it failed. It didn't even work. It malfunctioned. That American Airlines is so negligent in regards to Brittany Oswell's death. They have her death right at their footsteps. They have Brittany Oswell's death right at their footsteps. So, but moving on, it says, the doctor and flight attendants administered CPR, but Brittany never regained consciousness on the flight or thereafter, the lawsuit says. Brittany was taken to Baylor Medical Center, where she was diagnosed with brain damage and an embolism, according to the lawsuit. On April 18th, a doctor diagnosed Brittany with no brain activity, and she was removed from life support and declared dead, according to the lawsuit, which listed her cause of death as acute massive pulmonary embolism and cardiogenic shock. When Brittany got on the plane, she stepped into her coffin. Crenshaw said, the lawyer. It's a tragedy. American Airlines issued a statement, and I don't even want to, no, I'm going to repeat what they said because I just want you to hear what the airlines always says, and especially American Airlines. It's a generic statement, and they always say this very same thing, and it's so sad because it's typical of them to say these things. And this is when you know that they speak with a forked tongue, that they never speak the truth. But let's go into it. It says the airlines made their statement saying, quote, "We take the safety of our passengers very seriously, and we are looking into the details of the complaint," unquote. Yeah, we know that doesn't happen. And again, when the lawyer has to ask the question, did the FAA or American Airlines conduct an investigation, and they don't even know this, that's a problem. Already, that's a problem. Brittany's family accuses American Airlines of negligence, according to the lawsuit. They are seeking damages in an amount to be determined by a jury for severe emotional distress, anxiety, grief, and sorrow. Quote, "What can we do to right this?" Crenshaw asked. "Cody has no wife, and Christopher and Tina are left without their daughter," unquote. Crenshaw said American Airlines had not answered the lawsuit as of Wednesday afternoon. He was not aware if there was any investigation by the airline or the FAA. Crenshaw said he expects a jury trial to begin in a year to 18 months. He added that the doctor who was a passenger on the plane is not named in the lawsuit, but he plans to call her as a witness. Crenshaw said the main issues he will address at a trial are, quote, "The doctor begged the pilot to land, and there was broken equipment on the plane." Very good. And for Brittany Oswell, may you rest in heaven, and may God bless your soul. Rest in peace, Brittany. Black lives do matter. Anyway, this is Guru at Black Talk Radio, where black media matters. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.